Mini-Symposia. So first up is Felipe Lema. He's going to talk about geostatistics and Python.
Hi everyone. Well, I got to thank the organization for bringing me here. Been having a good time. And well, I'll talk to you about where I work, ALGES. And well, I can tell you, we do geostatistics and we use Python. I'm Felipe Lema, by the way. So, in this presentation specifically, I'll give you a small introduction to what my lab do. Well, then I explain with more details, and I'll show you, and I'll talk to you about a couple of projects we're coming along with. So, from what I've heard, most of you know about the 33 miners that got rescued about 2 years ago. And I was talking to someone in the hall, and he said, it seems like it's a very important thing, this mining in Chile. Well, it is. For those of you who don't know, we export copper. We have lots of copper in my country, and it is a lot of movement. There's a lot of industry movement, research, and well, that's where our laboratory is born from. ALGES stands for Advanced Laboratory for Geostatistical Supercomputing. And for those of you who don't know, geostatistics is a branch of statistics applied for modeling mining resources, which is good for the copper production, because the better the models we produce, the more we can export. We can optimize mine planning and have a good risk management. The thing about getting a good model is that the more data you get, the better your model results. But, well, since it's not a problem to get input data, the problem is to process it. Because most modeling algorithm require a lot of CPU-intensive processes. So that's where we use HPC and supercomputing. We're basically a group of engineers. There's a lot of, well, other persons working, but we're almost all engineers. There's a mining engineer, there's a lot of computer science engineers, and, well, within that group, we have academics from the University of Chile, we have researchers, such as myself, and we have some students passing by during the year. We are a part of the Advanced Mining Technology Center, where we share a building with other labs that do research based on mining. We have a metallurgy laboratory. We have a laboratory that develops a self-driving automobile. And we all live under the wing of the University of Chile. Our laboratory is funded by public contests for projects. And we also do projects with private companies that are interested in mining modeling. So, one of the projects we're finishing actually, is MGEOS. That stands for Multivariate Geostatistics Software for Geostatistical Software. This software is basically a prototype, but it's a usable prototype. I mean, it's stable, runs very good. And it is used for exploratory analysis of data and mining modeling. The focus that, well, one of the goals that we wanted to achieve with this software is that it would be easy to use for beginners and could be fine-tuned for the experience. Most geologists or people related to the geology know that getting algorithms to work require a lot of parameter input, like, I don't know, 10 lines of very specific parameters. Well, there is other software that does what ALGES does, but we focus on multivariate analysis. This meaning, for example, you've got yourself a mine and you have a type of rock, a variable that's a type of rock. So you have, I don't know, 20 types of rock, and you like to run an experiment for this type of rock and the same experiment for this type of rock. On most software, you will have to program it and run it each time. This software is thought to be iterative, and you just select a variable and it will filter out for you, for example. Like I said, one of its goals is to provide a complex and simple interface at the same time. For one part, we don't want to give the user a very difficult user interface, and we don't want to limit it too much. Since we get a lot of input data, we have large model handling, we have to build this application that that uses scalable code. And for that, well, Python has worked as fine for us, but we also have to use C++ code for the CPU-intensive algorithms. And for that, we also use OpenMP. Well, it has to be portable because we work in Linux, but the end user will use it in Windows. And well, we have to use very optimized code. We run profiles like every week, and well, like I said, Python helps us in that. Among the tools it provides, it has, well, basic, if you should call it like that, analysis tools such as histograms, basic statistics, you know, mean, maximum, standard deviation, stuff like that, data visualization, and process data visualization. Data visualization is just, okay, I got 10 probes, I'll see the 10 probes in a 3D Mayavi, for example, Mayavi window. But processes data visualization will include stuff like QQ-plot. I don't know, maybe you're familiar with that, you can Google it. PP-plot, like the ones that appear on the upper two graphs that appear on the screen. And for example, that one, the lower on the right, it's a process visualization. It's kind of, I still having difficulty understanding, but from what I understand is that you select a direction, you select a number of range, and for each range it calculates the proportions of each category in, for example, type of rock, and its mean. And well, I was asked to build this, and a geologist saw it. Oh, I understand this. It's so cool. Well, that's his stuff. Other of the tools provided are experimental variogram calculation and variogram modeling. Among its estimation tools, it provides nearest neighbor estimation, inverse distance estimation, kriging and co-kriging estimation. And for risk management, we provide a turning band simulation. Well, here's a picture. It's a funny story that among the tools that I've seen, I've never seen one as this one. The thing is, when you do variogram calculations, for those of you who don't know, you have to choose directions. And while it was explained to me, the miner was explaining it with his hand, and I said, "Oh, would you like to visualize that?" Oh my God, how come nobody ever done that? It's so useful, and it was pretty simple to do using Mayavi, and from what I heard, they like it very much. And well, there's a screen another screen for variogram calculation that provides another 3D visualization that the client liked. And here are some time comparisons against GeoSleep that would be a direct competitor. In red, there's times for concrete calculation for GeoSleep, and on mustard would be MGeos. These results aren't final because all these results are based on sequential executed code. We tried to parallelize code, but recently we had to do a setback, so I could only come up with sequential code. Another of the projects that we're working on is UFO. UFO stands for unfolding, and what it does, it unfolds. For those of you who don't know, when modeling, well, in this case, mining source resources, there could be, you need to have space continuity. You need to have a smooth model, so to say. And there's a problem because in Chile, we have a lot of earthquakes, and that creates a fault, what is called. And that deforms the original form of the model, of the mineral, and makes it very difficult to estimate. So a company came to us having this problem and said, oh, well, there are solutions, but the tools that we have are very black box. So they came to us, we came with this idea, okay, we'll take the model and straight it up. Well, how did we straight up the volume? What you see on screen is a crosscut in the upper right picture. You see a crosscut of the, I don't know if you can see, no. Well, this crosscut of the model. We select a surface, a reference surface, and based on that surface, well, we straighten up that surface, and based on that straighten, we drag the rest of the volume concordant to the straightened surface. And, well, this is a typical computer science problem, straightening up a surface. And, there was in discussion that some deformation will be involved. We can't preserve all, we either have to sacrifice areas or angles. And so we asked our client, oh, okay, which one would you want to preserve? I want a person, if he could walk on the 3D model, he would cover the same distance over the model, over the original surface as on the flattened surface. Okay, we must preserve distances. The algorithm, the way we chose to get a flattened surface would the first algorithm idea we came up with to flatten this surface was, okay, we'll use principal component analysis to provide what will the best projection would be. Plain simple projection like z equals 0. And at first when I was analyzing this, I thought, well, that sounds like a very bad idea, but given the conditions provided, it's not such a bad idea because the deformations on the mineral are very mild. So using a simple projection works out. And since we're using principal component analysis to find the best surface to come up with the best projection, the one that keeps the bigger distances, it's very cheap to get. So we got the surface straightened up. How do we drag the rest of the volume? And there's this pseudo algorithm in which for each block of the surface we get, well, for each block actually, we get the nearest surface block. So, for example, well, if we had the original surface with its normal down like this, we want to do this, right? And what we do is, for example, if we had a block right here, and we had a surface block right here, would be this difference vector. So what we do is, when we take down to the straighten up surface, we take the same distance vector and just straighten that vector up, and we translate that block according to that straighten up vector. Now, a problem would occur that the surface discretization wouldn't be dense enough. There will be like a lot of blocks that point to the same surface block when dragging, and that would result in a volume like you will have a block, surface block, and a lot of blocks down here, and wouldn't get very good models. So since we have a surface, what we do is to retriangulate the original surface, and based on that new triangulated surface. These are some results, preliminary results. On the left, you can see the original relief seen from upwards, and on the right, you see the flattened relief. Well, the upper pictures show the projections from above, and the lower images show both the original surface on the left and the projected surface on the right. This particular model is like a 2 million blocks. It took 5 hours to compute, and the client is happy with that. Oh my God, I can work with this. I'm so happy. And so we're very satisfied with this project so far. We still need to get some things parallelized, but it's coming along all right. There's that. Thank you.